So now I want to talk about the mindset of a winning trader. Like I said, without the proper mindset, none of this is worth anything. Again, most people who come into trading do not build consistently profitable trading businesses. They try, they maybe make a little bit, but then they end up losing more. And very few people have what it takes to be a consistently profitable and winning trader. So I want to share with you some of the characteristics that I think me and a lot of other successful traders embody very well, so that way you can be aware of them and then start to implement them in your own life on and off the charts. So winning traders understand that without awareness, nothing will ever be accomplished. Awareness is that first step towards growth. Here, I said awareness will allow us to prevent emotions like fear from controlling our trading decisions. Now, some of you are saying, Austin, I'm not afraid of anything. I don't have any fear. Yes, you do. You're afraid of losing money. That's why you're getting into trading, because you don't have enough and you want to make more money. So naturally, you're going to be afraid of losing money. That's one thing you might be afraid of. Some of you might be afraid of being wrong. So in order to remove that fear, we just increase awareness. And of course, it's going to be more deep than that. We're going to get into it here. But with increased awareness, we've taken the first step at removing the fear. We remove the fear, then it doesn't get to drive the decisions that we make with our trading. We don't get to chase a move because 4 green candles showed up and we want to be in that. It's moving up. We got to buy it. And then it comes down and stops you out for a loss. We can avoid that with awareness. The only way you get FOMO'd into a trade, fear of missing out, where you just take the trade because other people are talking about it or because you're seeing price action move and you don't want to miss it, the only reason you get sucked into that is because you are not aware of the emotions that you're feeling. Therefore, they get to dictate the decisions that you make. And that's just not a place where you're going to be able to build your trading business from. This is a great quote from a really awesome Twitter account that I follow, Trading Composure. He said, "Good traders are not emotionalists. Rather, their actions and trading process remain unaffected, unaltered by the emotions." Like I just said, feel them, be aware of them. Why am I feeling FOMO? Okay, I'm feeling it. Let me not click the button and put money at risk here in a market where, number one, you probably don't know where it's going. And number two, in a market where I'm letting my fear drive my decisions. That's never a good place to be trading from. Now, awareness of emotions leads to a couple of things. Number one, no attachment to individual trade outcomes or even short-term outcomes, how you did this week, how you did this month. This business is built on experience, and experience can only be had if you survive. So in order to survive, you want to make sure you're not attaching your identity, your worth, your smarts, who you are, should not be attached to the trading that you're doing. And I think if you attach too much to the short-term outcomes, you end up making decisions driven by money, not decisions driven by a proper trading plan. Awareness of emotions also will lead to us accepting that uncertainty is always going to be there. Like I said before, what we do at ASFX, what I'm going to continue to teach you here, is not based on forecasting where the market is going to be. Rather, it's based on reacting to what the market has done recently, and has it done that before and then presented this pattern, and then what does it do? Okay, it has done that before, so I am uncertain about what this one will do, but I am not uncertain about the markups, the back testing that I can do to prove if that pattern was profitable in the past or not. Now, sometimes they won't be. I've had strategies that I've tried to build that are not profitable in the past. But now at ASFX, we have 3 strategies, the A1, the D1, and the D2, that we teach in the starter pack. Those strategies are the foundation based on backtesting. Those strategies look back at the past. Where has price action presented this pattern before? What did it do? Okay, it was a winning trade. How many of them of those trades of that pattern are they winners versus losers? Okay, there's more winners than losers. Now you're starting to move in the direction of, I don't need to be worried about what's in the future, because I know in the past this system has worked for me. This trade signal works more times than not. That's where the focus has to be, on that past information, not what it possibly could do. I think awareness of emotions also leads to long-term vision, patience, because without those 2 things, you'll burn out. Without understanding that you're not going to make your $1 million this year, most likely, if you try to do that, you're going to burn out. Financially, mentally, it's going to frustrate you. So there's a quote from Russ, the rapper. He said that John Mayer, another artist, said to him when they were just hanging out in the studio working on something once, he was like, talking about, I think, the music industry, and he said, take your coat off. And that quote just stuck with me because I think in trading, it's the same thing. Bro, take your coat off. Like when people come over my house and they're still wearing shoes in the house, I say, hey, like get comfortable, take your shoes off. You know, same mindset applies here for winning traders. They aren't rushing it. If you watch my live streams, if you watch me trade, if you continue to watch the content here, you'll see there's many days where I don't even take a trade because I can't find anything that I like. I'd rather lay in the bushes, wait for the proper trades that I know how to trade, that I know work in the past, and take just those trades. That's it. I don't try to gamble and know what else is happening. I don't try to forecast. I don't try to overextend. You'll see there's I think it's called the drunken cougar effect, something like that. I'm 99% sure that's how it's called. I might be saying it a little bit off, but basically what it says is the more the time goes on, as people become experts, the more they realize that they don't know everything and they only know a small amount. And those are the people who we can trust. And that's really who I feel like I've grown into, only because my mentors are the same. Now, the biggest thing here, selectivity. Selectivity is saying, I want the best, I don't need it all. Selectivity is being a sniper. It's not taking every trade idea that you see. It's not putting the same percentage risk on every trade idea that you see. Selectivity comes when you're waiting for the best possible trades and you're okay with even missing winning trades in the pursuit of the highest probability setup possible. So how do you read probabilities in your trade setups? We're going to get into that in the next chapter. Now, understand that a lot of that fear and those emotions come from our ego trying to basically break out through your chest. Understand that your ego wants a few things. It wants all the money today. It wants all the success today. It wants to never be wrong, and it wants to know the unknown. That's biological. That's for all of us. So without awareness of what the ego wants, it will still try to creep back in. Your ego will still want you to take all of those trades because you want to be right. It wants to be right. But that's not proper trading. That's not consistently profitable trading. You don't need to be right. You need to make money. Say that with me. You don't need to be right. You need to make money. Making money is waiting for the best trades. It's being selective. Making money is not taking every trade idea that you see. Making money is not putting the same percentage risk on every trade idea that you see. None of that leads to making money. This is my favorite quote of the whole presentation here. A secure ego will never let the need to be right overpower the ability to admit when we are wrong. Write that down, print that on your page, print that on your desk, put that on your trading desk. Just understand that to secure your ego, because you'll say, well, Austin, how do I have a secure ego? Awareness. Awareness of the emotions that you're feeling to prevent them from making the decisions. That's one thing you can do to secure your ego. Another thing you can do is find your value in something other than trading. Be a good human. Secure your ego in the way that you take care of your family, the way that you treat other people, the way you treat your friends. Secure your ego for your smarts by learning other things, reading other books, not just trading related, so you don't go and tie your value, your ego doesn't tie your worth to your trading, because that will just run you downhill basically, and we're trying to run uphill. We're trying to get to the top here. So take this for what it is. Your job isn't to know the outcome of certain trades. Your job is to only identify the probabilities that trade setups that fit your trading plan. And I'm going to give you a trading plan as we continue through the content here, an ASFX trading plan. So you want to not worry about, oh, is this a winning trade, a losing trade, a winning trade, a losing trade? No. You want to say, is this a trade that fits the system? Okay, it does fit the system. Now, is it a high probability setup or a low probability setup? And we have a checklist of questions that you use to determine that. And you can do that for any trading system. If you're this far in and you don't like me and you don't want to keep watching our content and you want to move on to the next thing to give you the trading systems and show you how to take trades like we do, that's fine. But make sure your system teaches you how to identify high probability setups and low probability setups so you can see the difference between the two and then focus in on those higher probability setups. Now, accepting this will lead to acting timely when setups present. And the reason I wanted to mention this is because a lot of traders suffer from performance anxiety. They get afraid to take entries. When they finally see the good entry present, they freeze. Having enough confidence in your system will prevent that from happening. And confidence comes from understanding that knowing the outcomes is not even worth your time. It's knowing the process that goes into the patterns. And you do that by studying a system and doing markups. I am a big believer in going back, doing back testing of those chart markups, identifying the winners and losers that fit the system, and then compiling all that data to see if it's going to continue to be profitable in the future. In the pursuit of that answer of if it will be profitable in the future, you are doing the work. You're in the gym looking at patterns, getting your eyes and your brain accustomed to the patterns in your system. What will that do? Increase your confidence when it comes to actually performing. It will remove the performance anxiety completely. This is a great picture just because this is trading. It's a huge market full of a bunch of people all running in the same direction, but we're wearing different running shoes. We're wearing different running shorts. We're all kind of on a different path. I might be on the grass for a second while you're on smooth cement. Everyone that is watching this is headed in the same direction at different speeds, on different terrain though, and in different outfits. And all those little differences paint our journey for what it is. So we never want to try to follow anyone identically. We are just moving in the same direction. And that long-term view with tunnel vision focus, I'm not following anyone, I just know we're all headed in the same direction, that mindset will carry over and secure your ego more and give you confidence more. When I'm making money and you might not be in that trade, you won't care. Versus some of the guys that they'll see me make money in a trade and they'll be mad at themselves for not identifying that. That's not where we want to be. That's not the mindset of a winning trader. A winning trader says, that's great for Austin. How do I do the same thing? How can I learn to be better? Not, damn it, how did he get that and I didn't get that? I'm an idiot. Those two differences right there show a winning trader's mindset versus a losing trader's mindset. And I love this, long-term patience, short-term speed. That's my Gary V right there, right? Each trade is but the first of another 1,000 in front of you, so enjoy the ride. That's a Tom Basso quote. You guys know I'm a big Tom Basso fan. He's one of the guys in the Market Wizards book that really taught me how to be a trend follower, I think. Now, I wrote here, adapt and understanding that losses are a part of trading. It's how we handle our losses that defines the success. So are you gonna let losses discourage you, frustrate you, make you slam the laptop and give up? Or because it's a proper loss where you're following your system, you're using proper risk size, you're taking good entries, you're not gambling, because it's a proper loss, do you just put it aside and say, okay, ready for the next trade? One loss should never blow you out 10% of your account, not even 5% of your account, because you should understand that without knowing the outcomes, how could you feel comfortable putting that much risk on one trade? It makes way more sense to control the risk at a smaller percentage and stay alive for the long term. Hit the win, move on. Hit the win, move on. Hit a loss, keep moving, because you know the next one, if you're trading a winning system, the next one's probably a winner. So the loss should almost motivate you to get ready for that next trade, not throw you down a rabbit hole of negative self-thought that will derail you and again, take you out of this whole chapter here of being a winning trader. I do really think that as a winning trader, you have to believe in abundance. You have to believe that there is more out there for you and there's also enough out there for you and everyone else versus, oh, the banks are out to get me, the so-and-so is out to get me, I'm never gonna make enough, my dad said I can't do that. Those negative beliefs will come true. There's a quote that says, whether you believe you can or cannot change the world, you are right. I think that that is so true. Whether you believe you can or cannot be a winning trader, you are right. And one of the things that I've really gotten well from guys like Steve here, I've really learned this well, is like he says, one of the deep skills some of the best traders develop is depersonalization of trading. They don't see wins and losses as vindications of who they are, but instead as merely the inevitable outcomes of random processes. It's math, it's system-based. It doesn't have anything to do with who I am. If I go off tilt and I over position size and I gamble, that shows who I am. But if I'm following a system, it has nothing to do with me. Don't attach to that. Follow it, because if you do it right, over the long term, it's going to be profitable for you. And you've heard me say this before, detach from the outcomes, attach to the process. Trading is by no stretch of the word a game, but when you view it as a game, it actually can help a little bit. Detaching from the outcomes of the game is almost like when you're taking your turn when you're playing Candyland and you're going up the board. Don't worry if your person you're playing against gets further ahead. You might pull the card that jumps you to the end. So play the game, play Candyland. And in trading, play your system, play the trades. If you see a trade that fits your edge, that fits the system you're trading, take the trade. Don't get scared. Don't worry about the outcome. Detaching from the outcome does take confidence, and that confidence is found in the system. And if you don't attach your value to the trading results, then the confidence in the system should be enough to make you just trade and not feel any performance anxiety and say to yourself, I'm letting the math do its work. I'm just the vehicle for the math to flow through. If this is what the back testing says, this is what a good entry says, now I'm seeing a good entry in the market, boom, I'm taking the trade. Unemotionally. Oh, I can't wait for this to be a winner. It'll probably be a loser. Oh, I'm probably gonna lose this trade. It'll probably be a winner. Those emotions don't have any space here in our trading. So that was a little bit longer of a chapter, but I hope you found value in it. And now we're gonna move into the last section of the crash course. You guys have made it really, really far. We've got a lot more to go, so let's get started with the next chapter.